welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi, and as you know, I'm obsessed with raves. I love rave content, would love to expand, but your girl is still kind of new to this, even though I kind of started it a year and some change ago, so thank you for bearing with me. This topic today is not an easy one. It has been weighing really heavy on my conscience, and I've just been heartbroken about it ever since. I'm an empath. Comment below if you're also an empath, because we all need love right now. This is a trigger warning. This is going to be about the recent events with Astro World, and it's not going to be a lot about that, but it's going to be about how we can be safe in a crowd and how we can help others if they're in distress. And heads up, I have my computer here with me, so if I look down or if I'm not making any eye contact, that's probably why, because I wrote notes. An organized queen. Trying to be organized. So let's get right into it. So today I'm going to be going over 6 tips that can help in a crowd. Hopefully these tips help you, and as always, I have indicated chapters below if you want to skip to a specific section that piques your interest, so I hope you enjoy. Research ways to help someone in distress, whether CPR, helping someone who is seizing, and possible OD measures is my unofficial tip number 1. The probability of things going wrong at a festival, I know we like to think it's a happy place, but there's a possibility certain things could go wrong. No one can measure, but at the same time, having prior research just in case ground control or medics are too far away or can't get to you on time can save someone's life if you know some of these tips. I will link some important videos in my bio and to help in researching, because you know sometimes research can be pretty taxing, but at the same time, if it could save a life, it's worth the 5 minutes of researching. Whether it's a possible OD, seizure, or someone losing oxygen, this could help really immensely, especially with Narcan now being over the counter now. If you guys don't know what Narcan is a nasal spray that can help with opioid overdoses, so that's a good tip to know too. Full disclosure, this video is not encouraging the use of drugs. I'm just giving some tips and tricks which I think are helpful. Of course, my opinion, but these are buildable with your opinions. You can build off of it, etc., etc. This tip is dedicated to my dad, Papa Williams. Love you. He always told me when I go out, I should have my head on a swivel, which means that you should not have your direction in one place. You should always be scoping around your surroundings, whether it's nearest exits, the possible way to get out of a crowd. All of those things could help when in a crowd that's a little overwhelming, or just being in an unfamiliar surrounding. I do this a lot because I like to look out for mosh pits. I like to kind of be aware of what's going on around me, making sure the people I'm with are around me. So that's also another reason to be aware of your surroundings. This gives you an idea of where the nearest exits are, the nearest medic or security, or where the fastest possible way to get out of a possible situation. Of course, I have anxiety, so I'm always looking. I'm always trying to see where the fastest way to leave if I have to murk off. So always bring water in a crowd. I know with COVID is going to be a little complicated, because I know with ravers we used to give each other water, you know, we're like, yeah, like, you know, my water's your water, it's our water, whatever. But if you see someone who's dehydrated in the crowd, putting water on their face, giving them room. Water in a crowd is 100% essential when going into a big crowd, especially with body heat. It could be 60 degrees somewhere, but when you go into a crowd, it could feel like 80 degrees because of everybody's body heat, everybody's sweating, etc. This could be essential if someone is feeling nauseous or dehydrated. It's important to give someone room who is not feeling well, so encouraging the people around you to give the person some space until medics can help. Sorry, my hand got tired. Or it's better to bring the person out of the crowd. And also moving out of the way when there is a medical emergency, when someone is trying to get out of the crowd who's not in your group or a person that you don't know, it is 100% essential to that person's life if you move out the way. Not interacting with the medics at all, because they're there to help the person in distress, to help multiple people in distress. So even at Lost Lands, there was someone in the crowd who passed out while we were on the line waiting, and we had to move out the way because that's what we do, because we don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want anybody to possibly incur multiple injuries because they pass out and they don't have the essential needs of what they need to get better. Listen to your intuition if you don't want to go into a crowd. I know everybody hypes up going to the rail. I know getting that picture perfect moment in the middle, but your intuition is normally right. So if you don't feel the vibe of going into a crowd, or you don't want to risk it, then listen to your gut and not do it. Sometimes crowds get too crazy, pandemonium strikes. So know with certain VIP tickets, there are specific viewing areas, or if you're not feeling well, get hurt, you can go to the ADA where they have seats. I'm not sure what the parameters for each festival are for ADA, but definitely check that out. I know if you have like previous medical history when it comes to joint pain or specific things that impact your back or your knees or your legs, I think you could be qualified for ADA, especially if you have like surgeries, like knee surgeries, leg surgeries, ACL tears, the list goes on. And if you decide to go in the crowd, don't go too deep, because the deeper you go in, the harder it's going to get out. So it's the harder for you to get out. So even just going to a place where it's like not so deep in the middle but closer to the end of the crowd will be helpful, just in case of a crowd surge. A spot on example about what a crowd surge is: a crowd surge is a situation where a large group of people begin to move chaotically and it becomes impossible for some to escape forces of the movement. And if you didn't know, crowd surges are so strong, depending on how many people are in it, that it can actually bend metal barriers. And it can cause not only dehydration, but asphyxiation, which means that you can feel like you're suffocating in a crowd. This article also talks about crowd density as well, which crowd density is defined by Wikipedia. Crowd density refers to the number of objects within a unit area, such as people per square meter. Density is important to determine the maximum occupancy of a room or building to address safety. So I'm also going to link that below because it gives a pretty good indicator. It's not complicated to understand on how you know that the crowd is getting a little bit tighter, and it could possibly avoid you either being in a claustrophobic situation or you just not the crowd. Cannot stress this enough. Move out the way when you see medics. It's so simple. Like, literally someone could be dying and the medics have to get through. So if you see a medic, don't be like, oh my god, it's a medic. Move out the way. Obviously not in the direction of where the medic is going, but moving to the side. Emergency contacts and location services before you go into the festival. In case of an emergency, or if someone needs to get you, you need to have your locations on, because just in case you get separated from your friends, they know where you are and they know where to come get you if there's something going on. And always setting up an emergency contact, even though you may feel embarrassed, or even so, like, you don't want to get in trouble. Your life is way more important than having to second guess if you're going to be embarrassed to get your emergency contact or not, because your life essentially matters. I hope these tips and tricks helped you a little bit. I know it has helped me as a raver, and just even, sorry, that was a bug. Just even kind of knowing some of these tips can possibly save a life and can also put you out of a bad situation. So there it is, guys. My name is Lexi. I love you guys, and please stay safe. Drink a lot of water. If you are going to partake in party favors, make sure they are tested. Please take care of yourself, take care of others, and see you next time.